day, panelists, and welcome once again to the CP Confidential chair. Now, today's episode might require some thought, but think about it. Is capital punishment justifiable? Let's get the conversation started.
So where my opinion stems from is that I'm very religious. So obviously I don't think anyone has the right to kill anyone. That's a commandment. Thou shalt not kill, no matter what. I understand that some acts are very heinous, especially murder. And some might think that the only retribution for murder is murder. But I feel like as humans, we just don't have that right. Just like the person who murdered in the first place didn't have that right. And then another thing, I personally think that if you do something to that level of wrongness, you shouldn't have the easy way out and just dying. I feel like you should have to suffer and pay for your consequences. So, life in jail or whatever it may be.
Firmly, I don't think anybody has the right to kill. I don't think you should. The person that killed in the first place didn't have the right to kill. And then for us to say your punishment is death, I don't think we have the right or we should have the power to, assign that punishment. But then again, I can see where in certain cases, someone can make the argument that, okay, all these people who commit these heinous crimes, if you want to take it to, in terms of money, we're spending all this money, keeping them in jail, giving them free meals and free everything, and they're just chilling there after committing God knows what they did. I can see why you'd say, all right, let's just get rid of them and save ourselves the cost from a government point of view.
If somebody killed your parents, you wouldn't want them to get killed too. I get the argument that people say, who are you to kill somebody? But who is that person to kill your people? You know what I'm saying? How would you want them to go to jail and still eat? They'll have a life after that. You know what I'm saying? It's a shitty life, but it's still a life. They'll live their whole life. You know what I'm saying? I'd want that person's life to end just like they killed my person. I don't know.
So capital punishment has been around since the dawn of time. Even Jesus was killed as a result or through capital punishment, which was crucifixion back in the days. And whether or not I agree with capital punishment, I think sometimes it is justifiable. Other times, like Damola said, two wrongs don't make a right type situation. But my only problem with capital punishment is in the U.S. and in other parts of the world, it's usually targeted mostly towards minorities. So it's sort of discriminatory. That's why that's my problem with it. Other than that, I don't really sometimes it is justifiable, sometimes it's not. So I'm just in the middle. I just feel if we did fix the legal system, then maybe I might be more for it.
Wow. I think that it is, but it's not. But it is again, because other people said there are some people who have committed really heinous crimes and they gotta go. But at the same time, who are you to take somebody's life? You're trying to kill somebody for killing somebody. You know better than them. So as for me, whether you're killing them or not killing them, that's your own business. I have my own problem that is worrying my head. So yeah, y'all can do whatever, but as long as it's not my own family, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
Well, as human beings, it's natural to want to seek revenge, but killing someone, it's not okay. Regardless, I think as human beings, we have no right to tell someone whether or not they should live or die. And if someone committed a crime like murder, they should have to suffer with a life sentence in prison so they can think about what they've done versus immediate death.
Yeah, it's all right, you were living a shitty life. Maybe you were living a shitty life out of jail, outside of jail or whatever. You that's why, you committed crimes or whatever. When you go into jail, I feel it's kind of a common place for everybody. Everybody is brought to the same level. It's a society. It's not you're taken away from the whole of mankind. There's other people in jail that you can, create bonds with. You can have lifelong friendships with people in jail. I think you can have a meaningful life in jail. They even have freaking GED programs where you can have a life in jail. So I feel that whole argument of spending, your whole life, and I'm going to say this for America at least. I know American, the penitentiaries or whatever, they're not like they are in other parts of the world. Like, it's still like pretty humane. Everything about America is like being humane. So though I don't really buy the whole argument that people who go to jail for the rest of their life are living a terrible life. I think it might low key in a way be the easy way out.
Bree, so I understand where you're coming from, but wait. So you want me to wake up every morning thinking about the person where I kill? Eh? Since every morning the same lesson, how long will if I learn it the first 5 months, just finish me, okay? I'm not one to get up every day to thinking about the same thing. So maybe I have to change my position. Maybe it's justifiable because even life sentence itself is too much. Some people, what do you think? Okay, look, Aaron Hernandez, what happened to him? He went to go and hang himself because even if he did it or not, we will never know. 1, 2, he's finished, and 3, he had his life sentence and got off the hooks.
I think that capital punishment shouldn't be used in all cases. But I feel like if you are a dictator and like you're a war criminal, totally, like you can't get to like kill 500 million people and then just expect to just live and be in jail. Like, no, you should totally die too. I don't see why that should be a problem. Also, if you're a serial killer, I don't see why you should live. Like, why are we paying you after you've just killed like multiple people and you've enjoyed all of that, all of the killing? Like, I don't support that. Also, if you're a serial rapist, also if you're a pedophile, I feel like you should die because that's like the worst sin you can ever commit. Like taking a child's innocence away. No, fuck not. You cannot exist. I'm sorry if I'm like cussing, but like I need to like vent because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like all these liberals, like, oh no, we're going to save everybody and everybody's gonna like, you know, live and let's not kill people because we're perpetrating the same. Like, okay, great. I feel like, yeah, if maybe you committed manslaughter or like murder and it was like, okay, maybe, you know, you can get like life imprisonment, but if you cannot be a dictator or a war criminal or something, or like, you know, one of those guys, like what is that guy, the name of the guy who runs the child's army, the children's army in Congo, like, why is he, like, no, if you catch him, kill him. Like, why should he still be allowed to exist? Like, when he has committed so many crimes, raping boys, girls, making them, like, child soldiers. Like, why? Like, why would you say, oh, no, let's just give him life imprisonment? He's still going to eat every day. He's still going to breathe every day. He's still going to drink water every day. No, kill him, get him off the surface of the planet of the earth. Let's move on to other things.
Bree came up and she said something about learning a lesson. In a way, I kind of agree with that. I think it's just something in society that we've come to accept in the terms that in society, depending on the level of the crime, justice is defined as justice is revenge and revenge in the terms of death. I think it's something we need to fix in society. I understand in certain cases, you know, if it's something personal, if it was someone in your family that got killed or shot or whatever, you would want revenge, but revenge shouldn't always be justice.
So coming back to Bree's point, making someone suffer for life, while the honest taxpayer on honest taxpayers' money for their whole life, I don't think so. It's valid because for someone who's already committed serious crimes, they already harmed the society enough. I don't think so that like they should get another fair share from the society's money point of view.
If you kill somebody, I think you deserve to get killed. And I think there's a lot of stuff that actually go into it as well. I think if we look at the premise of it, it's like using somebody as a scapegoat. Like the whole premise is that, okay, you do this thing, this is the punishment for it. If you're, you know, if people are like, you know, killing people or whatever, and you're, you know, and I feel like this is even actually an American thing for the most part. I feel like in other countries in like, you know, I want to say maybe like Saudi Arabia or, you know, I don't know, maybe like some places in Asia as well. It's kind of like, it's straightforward. It's an eye for an eye. If you, you know, do the kind of crime that's that heinous, then you need to go. Like
OJ, okay? Life sentence. Cannot, in fact, without parole. 99 life sentences without parole for everything that, because that's how I feel. But if you rape somebody, like, I cannot, like, that is taking someone's life away from them. You don't know what consequences like that person is going to have, the person that you rape. Like, you know, the person could be depressed, person can kill themselves, person can, so many things. So why should you be allowed to live after that? Why? If you also molest a child, like the purest bambini, little kids, like why would you do that? Like I don't understand why people would like it. Oh my god, like okay, like this one time I saw a picture on Twitter about this guy who raped a baby. And I was like, and the baby was bleeding and everything. A baby! She's not even up to 1 year old. Like, you couldn't find somewhere else to put your dick. Like, I don't understand those things. Like, you should not live. He got the word right. I think he said heinous or something. Yes, if you commit such a crime, rape, molesting children, raping children, and of course being a serial killer and being a war criminal, you should die. You should not, because you're a waste of space. You're a waste of God's gift of life. You're a waste of everything that is supposed to be, human and good. Like, you should not be allowed to exist.
So you're God now, eh? You can decide when to take life away. Let me tell you guys something. This guy is trying to say that because a man has raped or someone has raped somebody, 1, 2, or he has whatever nonsense point she made, that those are separate from murder. So murder is not in the equation of raping somebody. You see the type of logic she's bringing here. Let me tell you something. There is no way that you, a man, who is what is society? Society is men. We make the laws, right? So if you're telling me that you're trying to take one part and say it's okay to use capital murder, but murder you don't want to use for that one, that's stupid. That's nonsense. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Because so if I should go and commit murder now, you're telling me that that one is fine. But so that, in fact, this conversation has busted my head. And then she's telling me, oh, she's what do you call it? She said that I'm a God's wasted space or whatever. Well, there are people who have committed heinous crimes and they are being forgiven by God. You're not God. So I don't know why you're making conclusion. You want to run track. Jump to conclusion.
Ultimately, I do believe it's situational because you can't pick and choose. Same thing with the Rachel Dolezal and Caitlyn Jenner thing. You can't pick and choose. You have to look at these things from the same lens. So if you're talking about rape, and then you're talking about murder, you have to view it from the same lens. Like, you've done something heinous. You've done something inhumane. You got to view that shit from the same lens. Not say, oh, you did this, so therefore maybe this. No. And at the end of the day, ultimate judgment is to God. None of us are perfect. None of us really know what's meant to be, what we're supposed to do. So for somebody to take complete authority and say, I think you should die, I think I'm going to take your life because you've done something, I think is just as fucked up as someone going to murder somebody. Like, you can't do that shit, bro. You got to view these things from literally the same lens.
The only place where people say that it is justifiable if the crime is petty enough or if it's serious enough. Who decides if it's serious enough? The law. Who governs the law? The government. Who chose the government? We did. If you don't think it's fair enough, file a petition, change the government, change something. It's you who are deciding if it's petty enough. It's you who are giving a green light to the capital punishment.
So when I spoke before, I talked about how I don't think capital punishment is completely justifiable because it's targeted towards minorities and the poor and stuff like that. I just wanted to say that it's definitely not a black and white issue, especially with it being legal in some states and not in the others. So with what everyone's saying about, or not everyone, but some people are saying about committing heinous crimes like rape, if you commit maybe rape and you get convicted in Alabama where the death penalty is legal, then you can get killed, or executed. But then if you're in Maryland and you commit the same crime, you're not going to get the same judgment. So I just feel if it's going to be here, it should be here. If it's not, then it shouldn't. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys checked out last week's episode. Make sure to email us at officialcpconfidential@gmail.com for topics that you would like us to discuss. And our social media links will be in the description box below. Thank you guys.
So word around town is that these people are not subscribed to our channel.
Yes, I heard that as well.
Why are you not subscribed?
Make sure y'all subscribe to our channel.
Right over there. Right down below. That red button is just beaming in your face. Click it.
just go ahead and do it. Thanks.